kind of hard to predict. But do you have any thoughts here in the present about Clemson and how you might view the long term of how y'all might be thinking of adapting, or just any?
Well, I mean, we're doing everything we can from with the school, but you can't. There's not anything you can really do. It's not all we can do is support our guys. We're building the cab over here, a bunch of resources over here. We've got a lot of things in place from a tool standpoint, education standpoint, and try to do what is equip these guys with the tools they need for life. This is just another part of life. So that's the main things that we can do. But as far as creating NIL, that's not our lane.
Does Antonio's recruitment remind you a little bit of Trenton Simpson in the kind of the late offer and coming in late, but you also had to fight Ole Miss and some legacy ties there? Yeah,
honestly, it reminds me more of Klubnik's recruiting, to be honest with you, because Klubnik, we had offered one kid, and we were waiting on him to see what he did. And Cade knew that. That's one of the things I love about Cade. I mean, this guy's sitting there but we kind of got on him a little later, and we were further down the road with the other young man, and been in our camp, had been here, great player, and we were just further on the road, and we offered him first, and we just really wanted to kind of see what he was going to do, and then but you don't know, and so Street's kind of doing his value when Cade was kind of that guy. And start that process, and very honest, very transparent. That's one of the things I loved about him, is he was very honest and upfront. And he's a young man of strong faith. And his mom his mom was amazing. I remember the night before we were going to find out if we were going to get the one kid. I mean, she sent us all a group text talking about, hey, this is all in God's hands, and we're just so thankful to have the opportunity. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If not, man, what a great experience for everyone. And of course, the young man chose the other school, and I was able to make a quick call, and he committed on the spot. Didn't even think about it. This guy's got 100 offers or whatever, could go anywhere. But this is really what he wanted to do, and so just transparent, and same thing with Antonio. I think we only offered 5 receivers in the 22 cycle. Some schools offer 20, 30. So, we just do things a little bit different because we want to get the right guys, and we got the right guys. I don't ever worry about guys we don't get. I know that's something fans worry about, but we've won a lot of games around here without getting people that we may have wanted. So I just focus on who we get, and because I know that's the way it's supposed to be. I know that's God's will, and that's what excites me. And, man, it just was awesome to be able for it to work out for Cade and Antonio, just like it was awesome to work out for Makuba, because that was a unusual situation. And here this kid comes in here, and he's Defensive Rookie of the Year in this league. So just the way it's supposed to be.
With Tyson transferring, how does that maybe change the trajectory for Cade, or the importance of kind of getting him a little more acclimated quicker?
Yeah, we'll hit the ground running. So he'll be here January 9th. So about 3 weeks. Hopefully he'll have another third state championship to roll in here. But we'll go finish this season, and then these guys get a little bit of a break. We'll start our off-season program a little earlier than we have the last 6+ years, just because we're finishing earlier. So we'll get that rolling. These guys will go in the off season. We'll start the progression of teaching and installation and getting the team ready for spring ball, which will start March 1. So yeah, I mean, just jump right in and let's go. DJ will do an amazing job of you're gonna have. It's gonna be cool to see that junior version of DJ. And now that he's been that backup, he's been that starter. He's battled through injuries and some success and some disappointment and all those things. He'll by far be the best version of himself, and I'm excited about that. And I don't have any doubt he'll take him under his wing. And same thing with Hunter, same thing with Billy. So we're gonna have 4 good guys out there and get to work.
Coach, of the 3 Greenville County recruits you have, who do you see hit the ground running there and starting off and could be a starter next year?
Shoot, I have no idea. Again, I don't ever predict those things. I've been wrong a lot, you know. So just as soon as you say, man, this guy ought to be able to come in and help us right away, and he shows up and mentally he's just not ready. And then just as soon as you say, no way, this guy's going to be able to help us right away, like a Travis Etienne, because, you know, he's so far away from being a pure running back, so much to learn, man, he shocks you. So you just never know. You never know. I remember James Skowski rolling in here, and I'm thinking for sure he might redshirt. Shoot. He was like fish to water. I mean, he picked it up and played as a true freshman. And a couple other guys that you thought might play, you know, not ready. So you never know. I never really get into that stuff. And sometimes you have to play some guys even before they're ready, just out of necessity. And we've had a couple of occasions of that over the years.
With those Greenville players and then the other players that you have coming from the state, how important is it for you to just have so many talented players here from South Carolina kind of stay home and choose Clemson over other programs? Yeah,
well, you know, this is the recruiting people in this recruiting world. Y'all understand. I mean, this is, you know, this is a great year for us to be able to get 5 guys from the state of South Carolina. Man, that's and not only, I mean, like great players. I mean, these are, I mean, Adam and Antonio and you know, Josh and Jaden and Sadler. I mean, these are dudes now. These are great players that could go really anywhere. And to be able to have those guys here, it's a blessing. And not only have good enough players, but to, you know, have the character, to have the academics, you know, to be the right fit from a need standpoint, all those things. It's great timing for us. As I've said many times, there's more people in Atlanta than the state of South Carolina, right? And so we already have a very small pool. The high school football in the state is excellent. It's incredibly important in this state. The coaching is outstanding. We just have a very small pool. And then you throw in academics and fit and all those things, the pool gets smaller. And then you throw in need, you know, it's not always the right need or timing. So it's really been a great year for us from that. But that's our number one objective every single year. Everything starts inside out, and every single year. That's the way we go about it. And, you know, where we're located, we try to recruit North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia as if it's one state. That's kind of our mindset as we go about it, and then we go from there.
Put together some pretty good defensive back classes the last few years. Where do these guys, Sherrod and Jaden and Toriano, kind of rank with these classes? Well,
obviously on paper, you know, pretty high, but time will tell. But, you know, just being around them, I mean, these are focused guys, and, you know, and unique. They're very unique in their own way. I mean, Jaden is fast and he is long. I can't wait to see him spend some time with Batson and the boys in that weight room, and over here with Hallie and Paul and nutrition and all that. I mean, he is AJ Terrell-ish, you know, from a body type, maybe a little longer than AJ. And, you know, everybody looks for guys like that, and they're hard to find. But he's got all the tools. I mean, he's special on paper. I mean, and then Toriano is put together. You know, and he's a different type player. I mean, he could play 3 positions easily. He can slide in and play that nickel in a heartbeat. He can play either corner. He's played at a high level, you know, of football. He's been incredibly well coached at his school there, and just has kind of, his dad was a college player, and he's just kind of been really developed so well over the years. He's got a great presence and confidence to him, but he truly is a great leader right now. Like the day he shows up here, Toriano will be one of the best leaders on this team. Easy to see that. He's been a leader in this class and super talented. And then Koval's the same way. You know, and Koval just won a state championship as well. This is what a safety should look like when you watch this guy play and you watch him run, you watch him tackle. He's a very, very good player coming from a great program that's had, you know, a ton of guys over the years up there in Virginia. So, I mean, I think we knocked it out of the park. We need to get at least probably one more safety, and maybe one more corner. Between now and February, if we can do that, then I think we'll be in good shape with the group that we have, because we love these guys coming back. I mean, you see what we've signed with Nate. Nate's got a chance to be a great one. And then you got all these guys that got a lot of experience this year and did a really good job. And then Mike Reed, it's the first time in a long time to have two corners from the same school be the first team all-conference corners in Mario and Booth. So really proud of the job Reed has done, with that group.
There's legislation to maybe move early signing day up to January. Your thoughts on that, and is that going to help if they do that, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I do think there should be an early signing period, regardless of when it is. I think it's. There's a lot of kids that would sign, right when you offer them, when they commit. To be honest with you, but. I haven't heard that, but I know they're kind of redoing the whole Constitution, if you will. So I have no idea what'll come out of it, but I still think there will be an early signing period. I think most sports have that. I think we were one of the only ones not to have it. I actually would have preferred it to be earlier. There's complications there, but I felt like there was easy ways to do it there too. Because if a coach left, I'm like, okay, well, if a kid was signed in August, for example, and a coach left, then they can be out of it and either reaffirm or go somewhere else or go recruiting again, whatever. So I think you'd have to protect the players if you did it earlier. But, pushing it back to January a few weeks, whatever.
So you talked about getting the best player regardless of whether it's the portal or high school. You talk about these positions you still need to recruit. You simultaneously recruit both, or is it you peg those for high school kids?
We same thing. The portal, that's a never-ending deal. We evaluate that every single day, and we've looked at a lot of kids, but again, it's got to be the right fit for us, and it's got to be somebody that most of the kids in the portal are guys that aren't playing where they are. And there's some obviously exceptions to that, but we feel good about our roster where we are right now, and we're certainly going to start with the high school player, and if we have a gap at a certain position from maybe a youth standpoint or injury standpoint, then we'll keep all options open. But that's not just now; that's all the way really till May, because the portal's open for business till May 1. So, that could be something we have to deal with all the way till then.
You talked about the 12 out of the 12, 9 are coming mid-year. Who are the 3 that aren't coming?
Antonio, Sapp, and who was the other one? Woodass. That's who it was. Woodass.
But with the offensive linemen, do you feel like that you guys signed, do you feel like they can play with a good nastiness and attitude about it?
Yeah. Watch that tape. It won't take you long to see that. They're two finishers, man. That's one thing that jumps out if you watch their tape. It won't take you long to see their love of playing, their passion of playing the position, and their physicality. That's one of the reasons we fell in love with them.
Is Cade similar to Deshaun in that he needs to add some?
Oh, yeah. I think Deshaun came in here he was probably like 182 maybe when he got here, and he was 200 in August. He was 199 or right at 200 at when we weighed in August. So he really had a transformation from January to August, and I think he left here about 215 plus. And Cade's definitely, Cade I think will be a little bigger. He'll probably be in that 84, 85 range, probably where he'll show up. So yeah, I think you'll see a similar progression between January and August, just from filling out a little bit.
Going back to mentioning the in-state kids that you're able to sign, I guess what was different about this class where you were able to offer and then get them in here?
Well, this is just a unique year that we were able to offer multiple guys. We really haven't been able to offer a lot of guys. So this was a year where there were several offerable young men in our state, and it just worked out well for us that we were a good fit for them.
Any other questions in the room before we go to Zoom?
Walk-ons in the state, like, can you talk about any of the walk-ons?
Oh, the walk-ons?
You guys should be in.
Yeah, we're gonna sign all those guys in February. In our second signing period, we'll announce all of our preferred walk-on guys and talk about them then.
Any questions for Coach from anybody virtually? Anything else from anybody in the room? All right, thank you.
All right, let's go.